Let me greet the Blue family. You are all welcome. Thank you so much. This is a beautiful day, the day that the Lord has made. And once again, we are meeting live with Chatufa. We want to appreciate you all that are on the show. Thank you very much for joining us. It is a beautiful, beautiful day. Wherever you are, where are you watching us from? You are in all the four corners of the world watching Chatufa live right now, right here. And we are saying, let the blue train continue to roll. The blue train is rolling. We are step by step, foot by foot, going towards the freedom of the Zimbabwean people. This is the gospel of the freedom of the Zimbabwean people. And we are so fortunate that God is fighting our battles. And this time around, God is on our side. We are winners and we win, and we shall continue to win. Thank you so much for those that have joined us. I've already seen names rising up already behind before we even started. And I want to appreciate you, family, for standing with your channel, supporting your channel. And every time that we see this, we are greatly encouraged to want to work harder and to provide more information and more sessions of prayer and the declaration of the word of God to you. Thank you very much. Definitely, Zimbabwe is free and Zimbabwe is going to be free. Fortune Moyo, good morning. Sekai Mondoro, Teresa Soko, thank you so much. Mike Chari, good morning. Shelly Kays, how are you? Annie Robbins, Temba Maposa, Kumbula, Thomas, Tauraichi Nondo, Crescencia Jonas, thank you very much for joining us. I'm seeing even more names rising and rising. Thank you so very much for joining us on the show. And we are really excited. Family, God is doing great things in our midst. God continues to move. And we are seeing really that there's a lot that is happening in the nation, which is signifying the presence of the hand of God definitely in the nation. And today I am not going to be long. I have to be getting somewhere to prepare even for the shows that are coming next, because we have very hot shows that are coming. Today we have very hot shows, and I am trying to work harder so that at least at Chatufa TV production we can have 3 shows today. The one that comes at 12, and maybe the one that may come around 4 or 5, and we will have the last show around 7:30 somewhere there. So I have to prepare a lot, but I just brought you something that I said we just have to share. It is very interesting. The issue that I'm bringing to us today, it is making a lot of Varakash to be very angry. I don't know why Varakash are angry. They are saying, yeah, there's no story. You are measuring on minors, things like that. They are really very, angered about this. But, I said to myself, no, I know the Zimbabwe is a nation that is, under so much pain, but there are other issues that happen in the nation that we are also supposed to be allowed to laugh. Are we not allowed to laugh? Are we not allowed to laugh? Varakashi are angry that, why are we making a story out of this? Because I was just looking at the responses of Varakashi over this story. They are so angry. They are saying, what is funny about that? Yeah, all these things happen. Somebody was saying in Britain, they failed to light the the rocket or whatever it was. So why do you want to, make a fuss out of just a tractor in Zimbabwe? We are not in prison. We are allowed to laugh. Our nation is a painful one. We are one of the most painful nations. So when it is our time also to laugh, please allow us allow us to laugh. So family, we are looking at an incident that happened at that youth ZANU-PF show, where Mnangagwa commissioned some broken down second-hand tractors that were donated from Belarus. And at a moment of him now trying to demonstrate the tractors and start it refused. And I was asking myself, is there anything that ever works in Zimbabwe? What really works in Zimbabwe? It seems like nothing is working. And one thing that killed me worse was the tweet that Promise Mkwananzi gave. He said the third term has failed to kickstart. My God, he just killed me on that one. He said the third term has failed to kickstart. So what we are saying here is ZANU-PF should not, and Varakashi should not be angry with us. These are moments that we also have to laugh off our pains. We are allowed to also laugh, to have some things that are funny that happen in the nation, and we also have some jokes that we can joke around with. So this is more of a joke. It's a satire. It's something that happened. Yes, we know it's something that happens. Who didn't say, who refused to say these things happen? They do happen, but it is just funny. Considering what is happening in the nation, it has to be something that also make people take a laugh. It is allowed. So I just want to show you what happened when Emmerson Mnangagwa was now getting to the point of starting those tractors and, you know, demonstrating that, no, this is the work we have done. And unfortunately, something went wrong and things did not work. So this is the video. It is on Change Radio, and I just want you to just have a look and just tell me why Marakash are refusing, are getting angry, why people are laughing, because we are allowed to laugh. So this is the moment. No, is it and Rakashi are angry with us? Why are people laughing? What is funny about that? This is just an embarrassment, and we would want to ask ourselves what really works. But one thing that I want to say to the ZANU-PF people is that, you know what, you know that things are not well with your Mkuru. A lot of things are just, you know, hitting the wall. At least there were supposed to be some people who should have made sure they did due diligence first before they allowed the president to come there. Surely, are they trying to tell me that they did not get some people to first of all test whether this thing is fine, these things are working okay, before the president can come in there, instead of, you know, exposing the president to such kind of embarrassment? So, you know, we are, like I was saying, family, we are allowed to laugh. We are not in prison. So they were angry. They are insulting people about this story. They don't even want. They are saying, so you got content. Is that content at all? Yes, it is content, because it is simply demonstrating that things are not well. Things are not moving in the country. I always have said on this show that Emmerson Mnangagwa, whatever he touches with his hands, it does not work. It doesn't. Remember, I told you that I trust Emmerson Mnangagwa. That is the man who is able to bring down ZANU-PF forever. Yeah, many times I've said it on this show, the family, that the hands of this man, whatever he lays his hands upon, it does not prosper. It gets destroyed. So this is it. This is what is happening. So it was a very embarrassing moment. But on another note, we want to ask ourselves and say, right, why is it that Zimbabwe always wants to be the country that goes for the breadcrumbs, you know, and the leftovers? Why? Because these tractors are not new. These are not new tractors. They are second-hand tractors. The things that Belarus are now, they don't know where to dump them, and they just have to dump them to Zimbabwe. Why is it that ZANU-PF and its leadership, they just want to go for the crumbs? They want to go for the leftovers. Why is it that they don't respect our nation to the point of just bringing good quality things? We were supposed to be seeing some John Deere tractors there, quality tractors. Yeah? Mercy Ferguson, you know, quality tractors that we were supposed to see. Not those tractors that don't even have names. You don't even know where they were made. You don't know which year they were manufactured. And those are the things that are being brought to the country. You remember the other time, General Chiwenga ordered some expired medication from India for Paranyatwa Hospital. And when they arrived, when they were checking, pharmacists were checking only to realize that all those boxes and boxes that came by plane of those medicines that were he ordered as a Minister of Health, they were all expired. And you'd ask yourself, what is really wrong with us as a nation? What is wrong with the leadership in the country? Everything of us is just has to be secondhand. It has to be, we just have to go around picking what other people are throwing away. This is the reason why we experience such things. Because I can tell you, if this was a properly new Mercy Ferguson tractor that came right from the factory, from the manufacturer, I don't think this situation could have happened. So it is simply signifying that there is something that is happening here. There is something that is happening. So this is what is happening. So I just want us to look at what Zimbabweans are saying also. I think let's go back there and check. We want to just see some comments that people are giving about this. What Zimbabweans are saying before we can also come. People is saying, Anzi says, "Inema horsepower." Okay, this one is talking about the men, the MC. The MC was just saying that tractor has a lot of horsepower. I don't know, maybe he's trying to convince the people that that is why it's not starting. If it has a great or a lot of horsepower, does it mean that it doesn't have to start? So somebody's laughing there. That was an embarrassment. Yeah, that was embarrassing, I can tell you. Right, this the other guy was saying in Britain they failed to fire cruise missile, the last defense of the nation, but here you cry about the tractor. You see, these are ZANU-PF people now. They don't want to accept that, no, guys, we brought second-hand things. We should have brought original, brand new things for us to have a nation that works, not just take things that other people are failing to find a way to dump them. And then you are the scavenger that is just to be collecting what other people are throwing away. So ZANU-PF, like we were saying yesterday over the issue of the ANC picture, somebody is still arguing that, no, it happened in Britain. It happened. What are you talking about? In Britain, what? We are talking about a tractor here. We are not in Britain. And why do you have to give an example of Britain when you don't like the British? You see? So somebody said, I wonder if ED is proper security. The security, I know, does due diligence. Exactly. They should have tested the tractor in advance to avoid embarrassing their principal. The damage has been done. Exactly. This is what we are saying. Somebody should have checked everything there. You see, that's exactly what is happening in our government. There is nobody who is checking up things, following up on things to find whether everything is in place and everything is working accordingly. There is nobody. Nobody is going through the accounts, the books of accounts of any ministry to check whether the monies, the public funds are being utilized properly. There is no follow-up. There is no due diligence, nothing. It's just moving, blindly. Everything is just going blindly. That's exactly. So this is a sign, because it starts from the little things and it continues to go into the major and more important things. So some people might, like especially the ZANU-PF people, they might want to take this lightly and just say, what are you talking about? This is just a tractor and this can happen. But it is showing us a certain weakness in terms of due diligence, in terms of people making follow-ups and preparations in advance. Somebody who was responsible for those tractors must have taken that into consideration and checked whether everything was fine and everything was okay. Not to realize it when the president is sitting there now and just an embarrassment. And the MC was just trying to make a lot of noise to try and distract the people from the confusion and the embarrassment that was happening. But I didn't see it working. It did not work. It did not work. Another ZANU-PF somebody saying it was just an unfortunate situation, but it's nothing to fuss about. You see, they just want to lighten up things. Yes, we are agreeing, but we are saying somebody should have checked. This is a sign that some people are not what? are not doing due diligence. There are people who are not doing their work perfectly. This is why we say the government and the leadership of ZANU-PF, they are good at looting, at dealing, at ngwavaring. But when it comes to doing work properly and making sure that all systems are checked, they don't do that. They don't do that. You remember that Mfekane guy, the one I was telling you, that is one great Murakash. He's saying Mawana content. Yes, Tawana quoted, but we are actually deriving a more complex idea out of that. When now you are taking it as a tractor issue, it's not a tractor issue. Us who can look things deeper, we are seeing that it's negligence. We are seeing that I don't think you are seeing it that way, you Mfekane, because you are clouded by, you know, these ZANU-PF rhetorics in your head. You are failing to even realize, as the ZANU-PF Murakash, that, you know what, those guys, you were supposed to be actually pointing to say, who are the guys who were responsible for the tractors, the bringing of the tractors to the place, the choosing of the tractor that was going to be used as a demonstration by the president? Who are those guys? And those guys were supposed to be followed up to say, guys, did you start this tractor before the president came? Did you test it? And you found that it was working, but already he's already on the defensive. This is what they are doing. Because in ZANU-PF, they don't point at each other's problems and mistakes and faults. If they were able to correct one another to say, but what are you doing in the Ministry of Health? What you are doing is not right. You guys who are in the Ministry of Agriculture, you are not doing things right. Something like that. And they can be, you know, correcting each other. They can be criticizing each other so that they can be progressive criticism, and then the nation will begin to prosper. But he, because of the love for ZANU-PF, he just wants to stand on the platform of defense. But that is not it. At times when a mistake is made, it is very important to acknowledge a mistake. I'm telling you, even going to heaven, many people are going to go to hell because they've refused to accept that they are sinners and they need a savior. They are just telling themselves they are self-righteous. They are telling themselves that I'm fine. Just that is the difference between somebody who is going to heaven and someone who is going to hell. One who is going to heaven is just accepted that I am a sinner, I am weak, I need a savior, I need someone who can stand on my behalf, that I may also be righteous and go to heaven. Somebody saying, Mina, I don't steal from anyone, I don't beat anyone, I don't go to church, I don't pray, I don't do anything, so I'm fine. And that on its own is enough to take that person to hell. So it's just a matter of accepting reality, accepting the truth and the reality, and then you say, okay, fine, I need to fix this. So ZANU-PF right now is supposed to be pointing to the guys who did not do their work and say, make sure that next time when there is something like that, any such event, make sure that wherever the president must come to do some kind of demonstration, is the proper due diligence been done. And have you checked if it's machines and the like, are they properly working? I'm telling you, some of these things they might want to water them down, but they are very, very important. And they are simply signifying that the leadership that we have in the country, ZANU-PF leadership, they are not doing their work. Someone is saying, "Ndaona mungu adzingwa basa apa." Ko DJ varikuti yamuka iyo isina kumuka. Yes, that DJ was now making noise. Like, I think it was because of embarrassment. It was so embarrassing. So you now wanted like to make noise and think, so that the people would think that the tractor is now running. It did not run. It did not. Vida, I loved it. This one made it made my day. I'm telling you, that's an embarrassment. Somebody's laughing here, saying voice behind the cho President Manyama Shumpa Chikara cho. Yes, they are talking about that guy who was shouting there, and somebody here is saying economy aramba kusimuka. Now the other Murakash is here and is angry, saying we are a broken nation, the things we draw our happiness from. Just imagine, someone is even angry that a funny situation has happened and the people are laughing. Are we not allowed to laugh? Surely the Zimbabwe is enough of a prison, to the point that if we get something that also makes us laugh, at least for just a minute, please allow us also to have something to laugh or to laugh at. Because you are already personalizing it, you know, and making, you know, some statements that look like some people are really, you know, up for a fight because of it. It's funny. It's funny. It has happened. But it is a funny situation which could have been avoided If you people don't want people to be laughing at that situation, why didn't you make sure that you avoided it by having the right people doing due diligence, the right people checking up systems before you can start to let them go? Somebody is laughing here and saying, "Ndo zviri kungoitawo economy." You know, it's said. Another one is saying, "MC anongoti my president manyama zvakadai." Yes, you were saying my president manyama shumba murambwe, and yet things are just going. You know, someone is saying Dizri Pachinoi part 2. Zimbabweans are laughing while Marrakesh are very, very angry. You see? Citizens, allow me to laugh. Allow me to laugh. You know, this is just so funny. A thing that was supposed to be avoidable. But anyway, this is it, citizens. I just want to hear what you also think. But I'm telling you, it's unfair for ZANU-PF Marrakesh to be angry and forbidding people from laughing at something that you know, that is funny. It's funny, yes, it's funny, and it was supposed to be avoided. Right? I don't know what you think. What do you think about this? And while Marrakesh are so angry, but we are saying, guys, these are things that happen, but functionality must be always be a principle in Zimbabwe, but it's not, because these guys are not serious. So let's just hear what some other family members are saying here. Kampala says the greatest sin in Zimbabwe is denying people access to functioning telecommunication services. People should talk about the problems of telecom services more, deliberate to keep citizens ignorant. Yes, the issue, remember there was the issue of the Chinese who were arrested for using Starlink. Just imagine, they are just trying to threaten people, and there are some other guys who are actually being taken to court over the issue of Starlink, why they were using Starlink. Just imagine that. Can really that be a crime, to use a system that works in the country just for political expedience? Gogo Bwea says, on another note, I think the person responsible for that tractor did that deliberately. Yeah, it's possible. Go, yeah, you are bringing a very important point. It's possible. Remember what we have been always saying, that there are people that are angry with Mnangagwa. Remember, we were saying it in one of the past shows, if you remember, when we were saying at times Mnangagwa will not be able to know who people that are going to attack him, because people that are angry with him are many in ZANU-PF. So he can be sabotaged by anyone at any point, at any time. You see, because you know, when people are not happy with you, also they can do some funny things that you may not know. You may not know, right? Gogo Guvea is saying, "Good morning, family. Good morning, Gogo. How are you? How are you? Thank you so much for being here." Gaine Kondo says, everything he touches does not work, and maybe there was no diesel in ZANU-PF. Nobody checked things. All they are after is the president, advocate, and National Chamisas moves. Exactly. This is what this is what is. I'm laughing at Kampala. We're saying push Skorokoro. Yes, that was embarrassing. That was embarrassing, I tell you. That should not be allowed to happen. I'm telling you. While it's myself, I don't like EMMERSON Mnangagwa, but I ended up feeling pity for him. I'm telling you, because I watched that video about many times. At the very last time, you know, instead of laughing, I felt pity for him. I felt pity for him. That was because I could see that he was blue black in his face. He was white. No. Some things must be avoided, guys. I'm telling you the truth. Mary is saying, wapunzira vanhu dzimba saka vangafare nazvo here. That's why vakaisa tractor inomubvisa chimiro. Yes, that is very possible. The issue of sabotage, we can't rule it out. Definitely, we can't rule it out. It is very possible. I don't think they see the wrongdoing they are doing, or even ashamed. No, these ones, they are never ashamed. They don't even see wrong in whatever that they do, because they think that they are very right in everything, but it's not. Crescencia Jonasi says, we are allowed to laugh. Mnangagwa is a clown. I wonder why Zanus don't see this. God is able. Ngatisa batana. What an embarrassment. I think something like she wanted to write something like that. Yes, yeah, indeed. You know, he was always making some dry jokes and make things everything funny. But when we start to laugh now, people are angry. Some people are angry. Why are we doing that? Right. Kumwe kusanyara akuiti zvako sekuru vakuru vakadaro vanoita zvinonyadzisa. It's not his fault. It's not his fault. It's the fault of the guys that are around him. He's got, because he has not trained. Emmerson Mnangagwa has not trained these people to be thorough. You see, this is exactly what is happening. Do you remember that there is a story of Kirsty Convent? Kirsty Convent it is reported that some meetings that she is supposed to hold as the Minister of Sports herself are attended by her husband. And Mnangagwa knows that. Just imagine, the husband is not appointed as minister, but her husband is attending some meetings on her behalf. What does that mean? So what we are saying is, at times, it is also Mnangagwa's fault, because Mnangagwa has not taught his people to be thorough, to be responsible, to do things spick and span. That is the problem. So his government is just, you know, a rotten apple government. It is a government that is no accountability. It is not a government that is responsible. It is not a government, you know, that needs to do things perfectly. So this is the result of that. Because when you train the people that are around you, that you are not thorough, you don't want a perfect job done, and you continue to promote ministers who are messing up. You know, you can't take somebody like this one who stole the NASA money. What's her name? Priska Mfumira. You can't take Priska Mfumira and bring her back again into the leadership. For what? What has happened? Are people finished? You can't be promoting people that have messed up big time. And to Mnangagwa, if you want to be promoted, mess up. The moment you become a minister and you mess up in your first term, you are assured that in the next term you will get the position. Those that want to do work, you remember Fortune Chas. Fortune Chas wanted to do work. Fortune Chas wanted to put things in order when he was given the ministry of, was it the minister that was responsible for ZESA? He wanted to put order in ZESA, and he started clashing with the Gata, and that Gata guy is a relative of Mnangagwa. So he started clashing because Gata has been doing a lot of corruption in ZESA. And the Fortune Chassis wanted to make sure he started firing some board members. He wanted to put a proper structure that works. And what happened? Gata had to report to Mnangagwa. The next moment, we found Fortune Chassis was removed. But when he became minister, Fortune Chassis, remember, for the first 3-4 months, I think, he said there's not going to be load shedding. And indeed, there was no load shedding. Those that can remember the story of Fortune Chassis. That is exactly. So if you are a hard worker, a diligent worker, a perfect person in what you do your work spick and span, you can't work with Mnangagwa. He does not even want you, because himself is a colossal failure. He's a perennial failure. And when he sees people that have got a hard work ethic, he can't dovetail with them. He wants them very far away. So all he wants to be surrounded by failures, because he himself is a big failure. So he's comfortable among failures. You see, this is exactly what is happening. So the result of this issue that Marrakesh are getting angry with us, why we are laughing, is because it is a culture that has been cultivated within ZANU-PF of not being accountable, responsible, and doing things accordingly. That's exactly what we are saying here. That's exactly what we are saying. So we would want to continue to call upon the name of the Lord of our nation. We need new leaders in Zimbabwe. So citizens, intercessors, we must continue to pray for our nation. This country needs our prayers. The country needs our prayers so that God can move and continue to bring the new great Zimbabwe that we are waiting for. Once the great new Zimbabwe is here, everything is going to be put in place. We have the right leadership, hardworking leadership, responsible leadership, leadership that have the people at heart, leadership that know that you being in the leadership, you are given a responsibility just for a short time, and you do your best and open the space for the next person. And once that culture begins to happen in our country, you will see how the nation will begin to prosper. So these things like this embarrassment is just the exposure of the failures of ZANU-PF and EMMERSON Mnangagwa. Left, right, and center, whatever that they are trying is just hitting a wall. Whatever they plan, it fails. Whatever they put their hands on, it crashes. So this is a sign that we are being led by people who are not blessed, who don't have the blessing of God to lead the country, who don't have the grace of God anymore to lead the country. I am telling you. So this exactly is what we are talking about. And it happens, and it's possible to have a true good leadership that is working. And that leadership is the one that we are praying for. It is going to bring the Zimbabwe that we want. Zimbabwe will prosper. The moment the blue train arrives with its soldiers, who are going to be the new army that is going to be standing for the people of Zimbabwe, doing things according to the laws of Zimbabwe, uplifting the constitution of Zimbabwe, and doing work ethic with perfection, with a wholeheartedness, we will begin to see the nation rising. Don't worry about what has happened. ZANU-PF has done its damages, but God is in the process of restoring the nation. We are going to go back to that great nation that we dream about, that we are praying about right now, because God is delivering it to our hand, because indeed God is in it. God is in it. Very, very soon, we are going to be celebrating the new great Zimbabwe, because the blue train is on the way. Let us continue to pray. Let us continue to call upon the name of the Lord. God is faithful always, citizens. I am telling you, we are in a season of change. We are in a season of new leadership and a new trajectory for the nation of Zimbabwe. So don't weep not, don't despair. Just praise the Lord in this season, for he has done it already. So as of now, I'm going to be signing out. Thank you very much for joining me. We are going to be meeting on the main channel, Chatuva Television Production, I think around 12, somewhere there, 10 minutes to 12 maybe. And we are going to be talking on the new subject that we are going to be having. And I might be having a visitor. I might be having a guest on the show that is coming. There is an intercessor, a brother of mine, a servant of the Lord, a man of God, that I am likely going to be bringing on the show. If everything goes accordingly, if God wills, you might find him coming, and we are going to be discussing very important issues about the spiritual situation of our nation, Zimbabwe, where God is taking the nation, and how we should prepare for the coming nation, and what God expects of us as of today. So for now, thank you so much for joining me. I want to appreciate you, family. I want to salute you. I want to respect you. Right now, let me be preparing for the upcoming show. Please make sure you are there. 11:45, we are going to be on. The blue train will be moving, and we are going to be discussing on the spirituality of our nation. Till we shall meet at that very particular time. As of now, let me sign out. Shalom, shalom. You are blessed. I sign out.